alone.
Check, check, check. What's up, what's up, what's up? We are in these internets, all in your inter-ear. This is the Live and Level Gamer podcast. Hey, hey, hey. I had to let my boys know that I run my house. K-Bomb 20, did you see how I run my house, brother? Keith, you see it?
Man,
Please, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I had to get her out of here, boy. She was finna embarrass me live on the air. She don't care. Welcome to the show. It's a Thursday night, about to get it real high. Level head, K-Bomb 20, Keith Norris in the building. What it's gonna do? No rhyming in my rhyme, cause I'm just coming through. Ooh, hot like fire. I'll be the one that y'all be having desire, cause I take y'all a little higher. Anyway, let me stop. I'm losing it. What's up, Nia? Welcome to the show. Let us know we coming through. Yo! Yeah, we up in this piece. What's up, fellas? What's good, y'all?
man, life be lifing.
Y'all trying to get me in trouble. Real talk.
Don't put that on. Don't you put that on me.
Hey, ask the wife. I almost messed up. Ask the wife if push comes to shove, is there a guest room for your boy?
Nah, bro.
All right, I'll bring my
We fool over here.
I'll bring my Switch, K-Bomb.
No, you can play mine. It's all good.
Oh, okay. I hope it still works. But welcome to the show. Yeah. When was the last time that thing had any electricity? Anyway, all crickets. I should get some cricket sounds up here. Welcome to the show, man. We are in this piece, and we want y'all to share this. Get some folks up in this comment section. Let them know we are live and leveled and ready to go. I have my two shining partners, Mr. Norris. What's good, bro?
Not much, man. Not much. Shiny? What we talking about?
Shining my partner, y'all.
We just bright.
Man, y'all shine, man. I mean, I think I got the best co-cast in the business. I don't think nobody better than Keith Norris and K-Bomb 20. Nobody. I mean, come on now. I mean, the chemistry here is legit. This is not a fake chemistry right here. All day, every day. Y'all just don't see how we be going at it all day, every day. I gotta meet you, Keith, in person though. At some point, we gotta make this more official. But anyway, welcome to the show.
Too bad.
Yeah, we gotta do that, man. Yeah, we gotta do that, bro. But anyway, welcome to the show. We are here. We dropping them bombs, and
we got Smash.
K-Bomb still playing Smash Bros. We gonna wrap that up real quick. But anyway, welcome to the show. We have a few things to talk about. Microsoft has done what seem to be these impossibles. They have, up to this point, they have well, they got it right.
No, the FTC just filed an appeal.
I know, man. I saw that.
They just filed the appeal today.
Man, they need to let them people. How much Sony paying them to keep filing?
I mean, that don't make sense. Sony a Japanese. This is America. This is America.
Oh, this is America. So now they've decided to throw their piece in it.
Yeah. These are the FTC. FTC, right? Yeah.
So
that's.
Go ahead. My bad.
Oh, no. That was it. I was just saying that. That's who's throwing their hat in the game and doing the appealing. So they're done-ish, but they may, if it makes it through appeals, then we're back at it.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that for a little bit on tonight. We also I don't know if we're gonna talk about the contributions because Microsoft got to seal the deal with Activision. Then do y'all want to do that next week? We'll do that next week because it was another
I was ready. But a little more research is fine. But I was ready. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay. So we
watching
gonna
all that Xbox stuff.
I didn't watch it. I was like, I got to. So we're going to talk about that next week because we had an interesting conversation that Keith Norris kicked off in the chat room, and we want to bring this before you guys' eyes and get y'all input on the effects of nostalgia and gamers' purchases. And we call this podcast the Nostalgia Effect. Now, we're going to do what we do to open up and everything. Have y'all been checking out Invasion?
I gotta watch the latest episode. Probably won't be tonight. Probably be this weekend. But I gotta watch the latest episode.
Okay. Have you changed your opinion on it now? Then from what are you still kind of like, I don't know about it?
I'm just watching it to get through it. I ain't gonna lie to you just to say I seen it, but I'm not really invested like that.
Okay.
Maybe I shouldn't watch it, but.
What about you, K-Bump?
No, I've been enjoying the series, man. I think it's pretty good. I have definitely been enjoying the. To me, my favorite part of the entire series is Samuel Jackson, because that brother is acting.
Yeah.
He's putting on a clinic of acting, and it is fun to watch. And so that's what I've been on. I've been enjoying every bit of it because he's been killing it. And like I said before, I think they've had some of the single best conversations in all of MCU in just one series. I just think there's been some very dynamic and just riveting conversations in this series, and I love the groundedness of the series. It's not superhero over the top, and so I've been enjoying it. I think it's been a fun trip for me.
With the recent writers' strike in Hollywood, do you think these are AI scripts?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. AI scripts are terrible.
And give me an example of an AI script that we know of.
I was watching the podcast and they was talking about that, so it popped in my head.
So
I wonder if this AI script, man, this is some good writing. Go on, let this writer guilds go.
I've actually used it. I used the AI to interact with Thanos. So I had the AI to act as if it was Thanos.
K-Bomb.
And then we had a conversation.
You know what?
It ain't working.
Sometimes you have a level. I know we all nerds to a degree, but K-Bomb, sometimes you have a level of nerd that shocks me.
Hey, bro. You got to test the system.
You asked the AI to pretend to be Thanos.
Yeah, that's a part of its function. It is able to behave and respond as anybody. So I wanted to test the range and what it could do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was very.
You want me to tell you what happened? So what happened was Samuel Jackson came. Oh, my bad. Let me stop. I ain't gonna spoil. So welcome to the show.
I made the AI write a song about depression as Snoop, Eminem, Jay-Z. I was going through reading them and Kendrick, and I was like, all right. And it was pretty accurate. Eminem was very what you would think Eminem would say. Jay-Z was very, you know how they sound. I was like, hey, this is actually pretty good.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway,
short verses though.
I haven't done. I haven't done that yet. So, but yeah, welcome to the show. We are here. We are excited, as you can see. So y'all want to go into this first? What you been gaming on, Neil? You haven't missed it. You made it. So let's go into what you been gaming on. Let's go. Yeah. You know what time it is? It's time for what have you been gaming on? Sing it, folks. Let's go. Hey. What you been gaming on? 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 Gaming on, gaming on, gaming on. All right. K-Bump 20, I'm bringing it your way. What have you been gaming on, my friend?
So apparently I've picked up my 2K playing time because apparently my homies, out of the blue, came out of nowhere and they've been gaming on 2K. They're trying to get ready for the next 2K. So we've been rocking it in the park lately, playing with some new homies, just trying to get the skill set back. And we heard some good news about the new 2K. The new 2K will be cross-platform, so we will be able to play with Xbox people at the same time. So Xbox and PS5 will be able to play in the same environment, which makes for a better community and easier to get into games and faster to get into games when there's more people to play. So I'm very excited about that. And there's been some people on the Xbox who've been talking trash, and we haven't got a chance to play them because they play on Xbox, and we get to put all that to rest now. And we get to see who's really top dog out here. So that's gonna be a fun 2K next 2K. So I'm enjoying myself. So
Why they
been
just
playing a
not
little
doing
bit
it?
more. Say what?
Why they just not doing it?
Well, it takes some. You have to add some new technology and some new. You have to add some new systems inside of the game because how do you communicate with people on Xbox? Because you can't use the PS5 party chat, which is what we use right now to talk when we're playing basketball together. We use the PS5 party chat, and so you need something else, maybe Discord, maybe something like that. But you still need a particular system to be able to communicate with people in the game. Because when you're playing basketball, you want to be able to, call out, "Hey, this is my man. Yeah, pick him up. Hey, here I'm gonna set a pick for you. I'm rolling to the right. Yeah, I'm playing this left zone." You still need communication. So part of it probably has been communication, and they've been working on it for a while. But there's some other. They haven't shared all the details that's going to accommodate the cross-platform system. But when you have 5 on 5, so you have 10 people, and then those 10 people each can be from a different system, that's when it starts getting a little difficult. FIFA actually introduced crossplay this year, but it wasn't for the mode where you can have 11 on 11. That mode still doesn't have crossplay because it's a little bit more challenging where you can have 22 people all being from a different system playing against each other. So it's a little
I
bit more
thought
difficult.
Sony was like they didn't want to participate, and what was that? They was kind of when they was winning. I thought they didn't want to play ball with Microsoft. I thought that's why it was.
They stopped doing that a long time ago.
Okay, all right, maybe.
Yeah, they stopped doing that. But they've opened it up for everybody to do it. It's been at least 2 years
Okay.
since they've opened it up for everybody to say, "Nah, it's cool. Y'all go ahead and do it. We still gonna win." Basically, in their opinion.
Okay.
So been playing that more, but I've been still playing a lot of the Midnight Suns. So I've been getting into that pretty deep. It's a pretty good game. I like it. It's different, where there's a lot of interaction with the characters. So you have a character that you create, and this character has connections to the villain of the story, right? But there's a lot of interactions between you, the hero of the story, and the other Marvel heroes, which are the Marvel heroes that we establish and know, right? There's some we'll say unknown, but less mainstream characters like Magic is there. If you saw, did anybody see it wasn't the Runaways? What's the name of that series? The New Mutants. That terrible movie that came out about a couple years ago. That was it was the X-Men movie that was delayed. They had the girl to play Arya Stark in it, and they had the guy brother, Will's brother from Stranger Things was in it. It was a terrible movie. But her character was actually in that movie. The character called Magic. There's another character called Nico, which is from the Runaways, which is not a mainstream character. And then it has other characters like Blade, and then the Avengers. So it has Captain Marvel, Iron Man, the Hulk, Tony Stark, Spider-Man. So it has some notable characters and it has some B, C team characters, but there's a lot of interaction between you, the hero, and some of these characters, and it has way more interactive than I thought it was going to be. It becomes almost like you're playing Sims, the amount of interaction you have with the characters. But it's fine. It actually works. I'm enjoying it. So it's a pretty good game, and I'm enjoying the gameplay and everything else that goes with it.
Okay, Mr. Norris, what have you been gaming on, man?
Okay, still gaming on Master Detective. Master Detective. I can't even think of the full title. It's a long title. I've already saw 2 murders. Working on my 3rd one. Actually, there was a murder that happened right in front of me. So I thought that was pretty dope. Not the fact that somebody died, but just the fact that it happened.
Was it a random event or was it scripted?
All of this is scripted. The whole game is scripted.
Okay.
It's basically like watching an anime.
Okay.
So much talking. Oh my god. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Then I started playing Fist Forged in Shadow. I think the game came out on the PS4, not PS4, sorry, PS5, like last year maybe, I think. But it's on the Xbox Game Pass, so when I saw it, I went ahead and downloaded it because I wanted to play a game. And it's very similar to the Metroidvania type games. Actually, I'm sorry, it is a Metroidvania type game. I actually got gameplay on my channel. I can let you see it. But it's pretty cool. Not really invested in the story. I just want to play. Like, when I play these types of games, I don't play them for, like, oh, look at this riveting story. No, I just want to backtrack, really. I just want to go find new items, beat up enemies, backtrack, and have my fun. That's my whole purpose of playing those types of games. But and it's really scratching that itch now that I've finished Metroid Dread twice on the hardest difficulty. Just wanted to say that again.
Shots fired.
If nobody knew that.
All these bombs. I guess I need to run for cover, huh, Keith? Got this Skype bomber on me, huh? I see you. Shouts out to you, Alan Steed. You see this boy over here throwing all these shade at me. Welcome to the show, bro. Tell Keith to get off my back. Anyway.
Hey, man. But and that's all I've been gaming on. But I do want to mention that my son, both of my kids have been playing Fortnite, and they've actually been playing pretty good. My oldest is playing keyboard and mouse. I didn't think he was gonna be able to handle it, but he playing keyboard and mouse on already leveled. I forgot what level he's on, but
he actually level. What you say, huh? What, another shot?
No, they both been playing and doing pretty good. I'm like, either these folks really suck or my kids are actually playing pretty good. No offense, they just started. You know what I'm saying? So that was actually pretty dope to see them play. My youngest is on the P. Oh, let me talk about it. Hold on. Wait, I know we need to move forward, but I first booted it up on the Switch. I was gonna let my youngest play on the Switch, and I was like, I'm not even gonna let my son play this on the Switch. This is trash. Like, look at these textures. Because there was no textures. I was like, look at this.
It's a replay.
It was ugly. So I was like, let me pull out the PS4, man. You can play it on the PS4. I wouldn't even subject my son to the torture of looking at that game on the Switch. Yeah, I said it. It was bad, man.
It's so bad.
It was really bad. But no, he playing on the PS4, so they both enjoying themselves. So. Fortnite.
Nice.
Okay. Now that I pulled all the shrapnel out my back, I guess I'll go next. This dude was like, boom, level. Okay, all right, Keith, bomb me up real quick. But no, I have not been playing Metroid Dread, and no, I have not beat Astro Chain just yet, and but I beat a game. Yes, Lord, I did.
Oh, wow.
So last week, I was being kind of bummed up again about not finishing games, and I didn't think I was going to finish it, but your boy has finished Tears of the Kingdom. I finished it, people. Are y'all not proud?
I hope you give yourself some clap.
Are you not entertained? Anyway, so yeah, I finished Tears of the Kingdom. Actually, what was that? Tuesday. And now this is the thing about it. Some of the stuff I was spoiled on because of Twitter. I was spoiled on the Master Sword. That's right, Nee, I'm fighting back. I was spoiled on the Master Sword, so I knew about the Master Sword like a week out of getting the game because somebody put it on Twitter, and I was strolling through and saw them pull the sword from where it was. Not to spoil anybody here. But I was also somewhat spoiled on the revelation at the end with a person, right? Now,
oh man, don't spoil it for me, man.
I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I am, because you're never going to play it. But I ain't going to spoil it for anybody on the cast that hasn't done it. So now, the truth is, the game kind of lets you know that was going to happen. If you talking to different ones, they kind of allude to this possibility, right? So I kind of knew that it was possible, but then on YouTube, saw it by accident, watching a person talking about it. They didn't give no spoiler warning, and they showed the clip, and I'm like, oh, man. So anyway, I already knew the revelation and the I guess the plot twist, so to speak. But with all that, so my excitement wasn't as, I guess my fulfillment and joy and what did you say, Keith? Because you kind of said it got a little emotional. I didn't get a chance to have that full-fledged because I kind of knew what was going to take place. But other than that, Keith, I'm going to say this, bro. You was right on the money, man, when you said that fighting Ganon makes you realize that you didn't play the game right. Man, look. So, okay, first of all, I didn't know you had to go through that much just to. Now, I talked to you guys in the chat, but I don't know if I said this last week. Because I did, I think I had got to him last week, but I don't know if I said this on the podcast. So, and if I did, I apologize for dredging through what I already said. But to get to my point, I got to say it. So, just getting to Ganon is a chore. I don't remember no Zelda being this challenging to get to the final fight. None. Like, I don't know how you feel, Keith. Nia, I don't know how you feel. Alan Steed, if you played the game, I don't know how you feel. K-Bum is what you are. So anyway, this K-Bum, I apologize, man. You know,
it's all good. I can take it.
So anyway, so if I've never really played, well, yes, I have. I played Elden Ring, and it's a Souls type of game. And this was very reminiscent of Souls type stuff. This was not fair in the slightest. I mean, everything they want you doing from gloom hands to just ridiculous Lionels and I don't know what them things that be blowing out cold air, and they got like 5 of them in one spot. Then you got to float down, and then they take your stuff from you, and then you got to fight through a horde of this and a horde of that, and you got gloom taking your hearts. And then when you get in there to fight Ganon, they don't give you no chance to heal or nothing. So if you only got 2 hearts left, that's what you got for the duration of the fight if you didn't eat right. Or you don't got the food. So I did say this last week. So I'm like, man, this is ridiculous, man. So anyway, what's it say, Monster Mass? Yeah, I forgot to do that, but I didn't want to do that, Nia. So the second time getting down there, I knew exactly what I was going to do. So when I got down there, and then you trigger the event before the main event, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Those who don't know, you will find out. When you get down there and you get through all that stuff, there's still a big thing you got to do, a thing you got to encounter. And this is what I learned, Keith. This is crazy. If you go to Ganon before you play through the game, and do certain things, when you get down there, all that doesn't show up for you to help. So you down there on your own with 4 hearts fighting. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? So I'm still playing, but I love spoil. I'm not going to spoil it. You don't want this spoiler. So anyway, Ganondorf is that dude. I'm sorry, I don't care. That brother, when he sitting there and he talking, K-Bone, you talking about story talk. You talking about story element. When he's sitting there and he talking, and he talking his talk, and then he does what he does, and then he, oh my God, Keith, how did you feel on that part?
When he was, man, I thought it was pretty dope. I loved every second of it.
Bro, I watched it. Normally, when you see the scene one time, you skip through it. I didn't skip through it. I watched it at least. I watched that introduction to his fight and him powering up at least 6-7 times, because that's how many times I was dying the first time I got down. So I watched it and it felt like K-Bum. If I could bring you to a title. Dragon Ball Z, when Goku goes Super Saiyan, or when they was fighting Cell, or when they fought. I'm trying to think of something, but think of that, like when they power up, when Frieza went full Frieza on him, and he powered up, and you saw him. Oh, it was like that, bro. It's like that. And when he walks in, or when he walks. He's so ridiculously, man, the brother just, I was like, dude, Nintendo, y'all doing it here. This is ridiculous. I didn't want to. Oh, go ahead.
What you think about his dehydrated voice? I actually liked it. I'm going to. I don't know
Yeah,
what
that's
he said.
what
I
I'm
can't
saying.
remember.
It was that's the scratchy voice, the scratchy. I am not vitalized. My dude, like if you look at his muscles before he does what he does, you can see the vein holes where the veins are tied, are mangled up in his arm. Like, it was really detailed. But then when he comes full-fledged, Keith, bro, I was like, I don't want to beat you, sir. I'll join your team. That's how I felt. So, overall, this is the best, I would say this is the best version of Ganon ever. Man, like I learned how to parry fast. Like you gave your tips. I learned how to parry quick. I was like, this you can't dodge. You got to parry this stuff. And
does he fight just like you?
Right, dude, he dodged my stuff. I'm like, this dude dodging my stuff. So anyway, what I did was, to make my story short. Nintendo really, like I said, Breath of the Wild, if you play like Breath of the Wild, you're playing wrong. Because Breath of the Wild don't require you to cook. Breath of the Wild, you could beat Breath of the Wild without doing really any other things that they gave you in that game to do. In this game, you don't really need to do all the building. That's really, I'm going to be honest with you. The Ultra Hand building mechanism got old fast for me. I'm like, I don't feel like building this stuff no more. So I paraglided. I didn't get horses hardly. I ran and paraglided, shot up out the towers and floated to wherever I needed to go. I rarely built anything. Hardly ever built anything unless it was requiring me to get to a maze and you had to build a ship, because you couldn't get there just by paragliding. So when I had to build a ship or build a plane or build something, some device, some Zonai device, I did it. But for the most part, even with the other power-up, I didn't use that stuff a whole lot. I used Ascension and Fuse more than anything. But I really enjoyed that fight. I really enjoyed this Ganon. he felt like a villain. He felt like a true diabolical Satan incarnated. That's how he felt. This brother was evil, but he was still like regal. And I like what he said. And you see it in the intro clip. He says, you see, don't look away from a king's revival or something he said. I was like, this dude talking his stuff. I'm on your team, bro. Anyway, so I enjoyed it. I wish I could have saw it in its entirety without being spoiled. I knew what was coming before I saw it, so it took away from the emotional part, but it was still dope. And I guess my question would be, and I ask y'all in the comment section as well, can Nintendo go back to the OG format from here? Y'all answer that in the comments. Keith, I throw that to you because you threw it at me. I think we answered this before, but what you think?
Can they go back? Not for the mainline Zelda games. I think if they're gonna do like a remake of like what's the game? A Link to the Past. Sure, that's fine. If you want to do any of those remakes, that's fine. Or if you want to do any of those smaller titles, that's fine. But moving forward, I don't think they can go back. They gotta keep moving forward and playing with the formula.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think they can go back. I think one thing they can do is add legit old school dungeons. I think that'll be. I think that's what they need to do and stick with this formula. I don't think you can go back either. And they brought Zelda so future. They futurized Zelda so much. I don't know what they can do next because this game kind of had everything. I mean, what did it not have? You can drive, you can fly, you can glide, you can. It's got basically everything but a gun. They got lasers in this game. It's all. I mean, this game was kind of just like I don't know what it was, a smorgasbord of just ideas at your fingertip if you want to do it. So I'm still playing, man, because there's other stuff I want to do. It's still storylines I want to see. There's still suits that I want to discover. I didn't spend that much time in the sky. I spent more time in the depth and on the surface. So yes, I did beat it. I ate, man, golden apples, Alan Steed. If I can give you any insight, golden apples, and go to where that place at where the mayor thing is taking place, Keith. Where is that?
That's
Hateno. Yeah, go to Hateno Village and do all the storyline there. Do yourself a service because they're going to give you something that you need that's going to make your fight even more the better. Also, man, I don't know if it's a spoiler. It's not a spoiler, but it's, man, cook that food and build that defense, man. Add them golden apples and up that defense to them 8-minute double up on your defense because, man, that's what was saving me was my defense was so high and it was for so long that when he would hit me, he wouldn't take nothing but a half a heart. Instead of one-shotting me like he was the first time. So I stumbled up on those things. I'm like, this game really don't tell you just how vital cooking is, but cooking is vital. But I'll say that no voice acting made me cringe. And I think they need to voice act all of it, but that's a lot to voice act, but they should. But anyway, with that being said, any other thoughts on that before we move on?
They can voice out. They can voice act that thing. If GTA, if they can voice act, hold to higher standard. Don't let them punk out like that.
Shouts out to First Name Basis, aka DJ Fanatic. Welcome to the show. He said, watching tonight, just checking in, saying hey. He said hey back, bro. And you know what? We got Smash Bros for you. Anyway, so welcome to the show. So what we're going to do is get into our first topic for tonight. K-Bum said, if GTA can have full voice acting, Nintendo little cartridge should be able to too, right? Right, K-Bum? They little cartridge can do it. You tell them to go back to
Just give me voice
CDs.
acting. Just get voice acting. I don't care what if it's a cartridge, a CD, a downloadable content. You put some voice acting on that thing.
Now, don't Xenoblade, don't the new Xenoblade is fully voice acted?
Fully.
For the most
And
part, yes.
Monolith Soft makes that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then they don't have an excuse because Monolith Soft helps make this Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So anyway, so what we got on deck for tonight is we're going to talk about maybe 2 to 3 things. Our main subject is going to be on the effect of nostalgia on our gaming purchasing. We want to talk about that and explore that idea. How much has nostalgia played an effect or a part of how we and why we purchase what we purchase? We want to talk about that. But first, we want to talk about Microsoft almost crossing the finish line. So Microsoft the other day won the case with the FTC, and the judge sided with Microsoft, right? The judge ruled in Microsoft's favor over the fight for Activision. But today, or yesterday, one of these days, America, who's that, K-Bomb?
The same FTC. It's the FTC. That's
Okay.
the America's Federal Trade Commission. So
Okay, so
that's
America's version. So that's probably what they tacked.
no, the whole thing is America. Even the case they won, the FTC's case, it was a FTC's case against it. So that was the America's Federal Trade Commerce that was fighting this. And so what happened was that they're appealing the judge's rule on it.
Okay, so they won. The judge saw it in Microsoft's favor, saying that the FTC did not provide enough substantial evidence to prove their argument to make it be that Microsoft should not acquire Activision. So that I think it was she voted with Microsoft. But the FTC had a certain time frame to make an appeal, and from what K-Bomb is saying, I don't have that article up, they have indeed appealed the judge's ruling. So I guess my thoughts is, what do you think, or how, now that we have a judge siding with Microsoft, even though it's been appealed, how do you see this playing out from this point on? I guess I'll come to, who want to take it on first? Keith? K-Bomb? Who want to go first?
K-Bomb can take it.
Go ahead, K-Bomb. How do you see this playing out now that at least we got a judge that's siding with Microsoft?
Well, it's just not a judge that's sided with Microsoft. There is, I believe, 39 other countries have already sided with Microsoft. 39 other countries. So
How much they
to
pay these
me,
countries? They done paid them a lot.
it's a done deal. And I see that the FTC is still fighting this, and they're still going through appeals because apparently in their eyes they do see this as an issue, and they have every right to make that appeal. They are the governmental body that protects businesses from monopolies and other ways companies use to get ahead that are considered wrong or illegal. So they are the governmental body for America that protects us and protect consumers and companies against that. And so they feel like the judge, and actually there's an article, well, not article, sorry. There was a tweet that I saw that actually lists the 6 or 7 different reasons why the FTC said they were appealing. I'll try to see if I can find it. I don't think I actually saved that article, so I may not be able to find it for the podcast, so I apologize. But yeah, they actually gave their 6 to 7 different reasons on why they're appealing. And to me, personally, I think it's a done deal. I think it's going to happen. I think it's just a matter of when it's going to happen, but I truly believe this is a done deal, and the FTC is going to and the appeal that the FTC is doing isn't going to do what it's said now to do, and it's going to be it's not going to be appealed. So the appeal that I have, so there was 5 standards that they're appealing on. One, they said that the judge applied the wrong legal standard to the case. So they're saying that the judge applied the wrong reasoning for his justification of the case. It said that they kind of erred on the Xbox Game Pass consumer benefits over its potential foreclosure multi-game sub. So the fact that it may cause more companies issues for more companies instead of just the consumer benefits of the Game Pass. They talked about how it relied too much on Microsoft's cloud gaming arguments. They talked about some of the missed potential partial foreclosure strategies, and that was kind of their attempt to buy Sony out of the game. You know what I'm saying? That was actually found in internal emails that they were going to buy Sony out of extinction from being a video game company. And the last one was that the judge ignored the FTC's evidence about Microsoft's incentive to foreclosure. Right. So that's their appeal. That's what they're saying. That was the 5 points that someone who read the appeal actually pulled out and posted on Twitter. So I don't know how. Like I said, I think it's a done deal. I don't think the appeal is going to gather too much weight. I don't think it's going to be overturned, but they are in their right to appeal, and that's what they're doing.
It says the FTC on Thursday asked U.S. District Judge Jacqueline Scott Corley, I think that's how you say that. Corley or something like that, to postpone her ruling, which she promptly denied, and also appealed to the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in San Francisco to pause the acquisition to preserve the status quo while the case is reviewed, claiming it is likely to succeed in its appeal. So, of course, they were successful in appealing the judge's ruling, like K-Bum said. So, Keith, the deal is set to close in the coming days, and is letting it happen. And letting it happen will irreparably harm the public interest, and the FTC regulators said. Keith, where do you see this going now that this judge has agreed and ruled in favor of Microsoft, even though they have appealed it again? Do you see them likely stopping this and succeeding?
No, I don't think the FTC will succeed. I haven't seen everything that K-Bum has seen, but I don't think they've shown significant evidence as to why this shouldn't go through. I got a quote here. It says the district court's ruling makes crystal clear that the acquisition is good for both competition and consumers, said by Brad Smith, the Microsoft president and vice chair. So we're disappointed that the FTC is continuing to pursue what has become a demonstration. No, it's not a demonstration. I don't even know how to say this word. Demonstrably weak case, and we will oppose further efforts to delay the ability to move forward. I just feel like if you don't have a strong case, and you're just holding up the inevitable, and it's going to happen, whether we like it or not as consumers, or whatever the case may be, or whatever you think the outcome should be, or the benefits of it actually going through. I just don't think the FTC is held a strong enough case. And one of the main things is because under the Biden administration, the FTC has pushed aggressively to limit big corporate mergers. And that's one of the main reasons why they're pushing back so hard, because of the Biden administration. So that's, I think it's going to happen. I don't really think there's anything anybody can do or say.
Not at this point.
Yeah. At this point, it's a done deal. But I pose the question is, okay, once it's done and Microsoft acquires Activision, now what? That's my question. What now?
I would think they would have to honor what they said they was going to do. I don't know how they I don't know how this affects Sony, because they are the direct opposer with the FTC, but I mean, I don't know how it affects their relationship with Call of Duty because they kind of was the ones fighting for it. And but I would think Microsoft will have some contingencies in there or some requirements in there to basically do what they said they was doing and by not taking it.
They still have to honor some of the statements they said in other cases, and some of those cases is to continue to allow, can you continue to support Call of Duty on other systems? Right. That was part of the agreement they had when they were talking to the European board. Right. Because that was one of the pieces before here was the European argument, and they were saying that, well, yeah, you can do this if you do this, right? If you continue to allow the Activision games, mainly Call of Duty, to be on other systems for a given time, at least 10 years, something like that. That is perfectly fine. And the fact that Microsoft used as a part of them getting this approval, the fact that they are agreeing, they do have contracts with Nintendo and Sony with continuing the support. So you can't just say, yeah, we have contracts, and then soon you get the deal saying, I got you, and take the contracts.
Right.
That's not good for business. So I think Microsoft is going to continue to own up to what they said they were going to do, which is continue to put Call of Duty on the PlayStation system, continue to support that for a time being, and then after maybe 5 to 10 years, it's going to become a first-party Xbox-only exclusive, probably, most likely.
Okay.
If not, why buy them?
Yeah, that's what I see. I see them staying the course with what they said. It's a good thing for, I guess, Nintendo and non-Sony groups, because they promised a lot of people to get something that they wouldn't have got before. So for Switch owners and those that may be getting what Nintendo coming with next, it's a good thing. But overall, I think, like Luna and like GeForce and stuff like that. So cloud owners should be getting Call of Duty as well. So I mean, it's a good thing in that sense. But long term, I'm with you, K-Bum. I think this may be, once them contracts up, if Microsoft don't, looking at their track record with what's going on with Bethesda, if Call of Duty stay the dominant, prominent series and title that it is, 10 years from now, I definitely don't see it being nowhere but Microsoft. So we'll see. But I'm not mad at it. I don't play Call of Duty, so it doesn't directly affect me. But K-Bum, it may affect you. You may have to get an Xbox, 10 years from now. You might get an Xbox.
I mean, I've gotten every Xbox, so, but yeah, I heard you.
You ain't got the Series X yet, though.
Not yet. Not yet.
You getting it with Starfield come out. But anyway, we already had that conversation.
Yeah.
So
the thing. Last point I want to say is that this, what people were also saying is that they don't want it to become an arms race, and so many people are saying this merger is going to lead to the great arms race, where you see where we lose some of the major third-party companies, right, and they get absorbed up with these console makers. So this is part of, or the battle lines being drawn for the great arms race. 'Cause that's one of the things that I've heard, and some of the reasoning why they don't really support the merger, because Sony has already gone out and purchased Bungie, even though they're still going to put their games on both systems. And then you still have, so now people are talking about Square Enix. People are talking about FromSoft. Like, where do we continue this trend, right? And people have already talked about 2K. So that's kind of the rumblings behind this, the kind of negative piece that may come. It may or may not happen. I'm not sure what these companies are trying to do with their money.
So basically, that's where does it stop with the acquiring third-party companies? Where does it stop before it become problematic? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. This is the battle line. So this becomes norm now. Is that you don't work with these companies to get games in your system. You just buy them. So now they're part of your ecosystem, and you
Right.
keep them. You play keep away from the competition in that manner. So instead of just working out deals with them, so that one or two of their games come to your systems, you just buy them completely.
What end up happening is you have somebody filling that void. Like this will open up for other smaller companies to, if these companies become like Activision and Bethesda and Bungie with Sony, with these acquisitions with Monolith Soft with Nintendo, then you open the trade off is going to be some indie gaming company becoming more of a third party company, bigger third party company.
That doesn't work for everything. That doesn't
I'm
work
not
for
saying that.
everything.
I'm just saying. I'm just
No,
thinking out.
because
Yeah.
EA has the license for NFL. If Sony buys EA,
Or Microsoft.
then how
Sony
does
couldn't
Microsoft
afford
have a football game? Like,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm talking about like that. Like there's some bigger impacts that could happen if FIFA goes to if Microsoft buys EA, then Sony doesn't have a licensed FIFA game.
So we need
Even though
Nintendo to
FIFA isn't
buy-
licensed anymore, that's actually they've
need-
actually lost that.
We need
But you get the
Nintendo
point.
to buy EA. That's what we
That's
need.
kind of like having a patent.
We need to.
I remember when Motorola was the big thing to purchase. You know,
Yeah.
let's
need
get Motorola. Why? You don't want their phones. You just want their patents.
we need to get
That's all
Nintendo
you
to
want.
buy EA so we can get Madden. So K-Bum had to be forced to play a Nintendo system. What you think, Keith?
Nah, I
We
wouldn't want
should
that.
rally for EA, Nintendo to buy EA. So K-Bum would be forced to play a dated Madden game. He'd get Madden 2000,
If
2018.
the Nintendo system is going to keep with them same graphics, I will not be playing a football game. It'll be that simple.
It'd be
There's
2020's Madden. Not the
There
latest.
is zero way I'm playing.
Okay, let me
football.
stop. I'm doing jabs to Nintendo myself. Somebody, let me stop.
That's
So,
crappy.
any other thoughts on this? Let me see what Nia's saying. But would the majority sports leagues be okay with that? I don't think so. Wait a minute. Well, but baseball did it with Sony.
No. So baseball. Sony doesn't own the right to baseball.
Okay,
That's the problem.
You saying on the right to baseball? Right.
First parties are able to make their own simulation sports game. They're not tied to the purchase of the license. And to your point, MLB actually made Sony put their a game on Nintendo system and Xbox.
Okay.
So to your point, Nia, yeah, you're probably right that these NFL, MLB, NBA, hockey, FIFA probably wouldn't want that to occur and wouldn't really allow that to occur as well. But
Right.
you know,
So
money talks.
So, not to prolong this subject. So, just trying to understand. So, when you say, like, okay, so other companies can make a football game. So, what can they not do?
No, other companies cannot make football games.
So Madden owns the right to the NFL.
Only
EA.
Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony can make football games.
They just can't. Okay, so Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft can make a football game with all the characters in the NFL license, and the only third-party company is EA.
Absolutely.
Okay, I got you. All right. So if
they just
Nintendo is
choose
willing,
not to do
okay,
it.
they choose not to do it. There's a lot of money in there because I remember they all had their own exclusive
Back in the day.
football. I think Nintendo's was because I remember Brett Favre was on the cover of one
That
of
was a
them.
claim. That was a claim. Quarterback club. When the
Was it quarterback club?
Quarterback club.
I remember Nintendo had they having their own, and they had their own basketball because I think Kobe was on the cover of that one.
NBA courtside.
Yeah, for the
something like that.
It was for the N64. No, was that for the
N64 and
GameCube? Right. It was trash. Anyway, so it was really bad. So okay, that makes a lot of sense. So any other big three can make a sports title.
That's why Sony has a baseball game. 2K bought the rights for baseball.
And
EA,
Nintendo had one
had
too, Ken Griffey.
EA had to stop making baseball games. EA had to stop making baseball games because 2K bought the right for baseball. Sony still had their baseball game because they purchased 989 Sports.
Oh,
So that baseball game
that's right.
was 989 Sports baseball game.
They had
The
all
show-
they had all the what's that? The assets to and it just came under Sony, but they had the assets for basketball, baseball
they
titles.
bought the development company 989. They bought 989 Sports, and so 989 Sports made Sony's baseball game.
Game,
It's
right?
first party at that point. They can make it. So that's why we still had a baseball game. We had two baseball games. We had 2K's MLB. Forget the name. Fast something. I forget the name. Ninth inning, something like that. And then we had the show, which was originally 99 Sports, but purchased by Sony. So now is first party.
Got you.
And
Okay.
EA making triple play, and they made a college game the year after because they lost the license. So they made a college game, and then they stopped making baseball games altogether.
Let me ask this, and then we move to the next subject. Is this the beginning of the end for Call of Duty?
No.
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 In
Sony has some
Microsoft's
momentum.
hands, is yeah, right. I'm looking at Halo, looking at Gears. I'm looking at a lot of stuff that when Microsoft got his hands on the Halo was not being made by Microsoft, even though was it no. Gears wasn't being made by Microsoft. And when Gears came under Microsoft, it lost its even though it was exclusive to their system, something was lost when who used to make that? The people that make Fortnite. Epic. It was Epic.
Epic. You're right.
Yeah, Epic used to make it, and when it left from them and came into who would they get out 343 or whatever they are, it's still fun, but it's not what it was, and Halo definitely isn't what it was. When we see, look at Rare, look at Bethesda, like. Do we trust Microsoft?
No.
I don't trust Microsoft, but I don't think we have to worry about that. Those games make too much deals. You pretty much buy them and you just recoup the revenue. You don't touch those franchises.
So you let them do what they do and just fund
Just
them.
keep doing what you're doing. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
If Microsoft start tampering with them, then yeah, it's the end of Call of Duty. But they smart. Do what you do.
Just fun.
I don't, and that's why I'm trying to figure out what was the purpose of them even doing this. I understand them getting into the mobile market, but y'all could have got into the mobile market a long time ago.
Game
If you
Pass. Game Pass. You make Game Pass look better.
You make Game Pass look better. Okay, sure. That it ain't $68 billion better though.
If you're looking at the long run, it is. Because remember they're trying to get out of the console game.
Yeah, that's
They really want to get out of the console game and get into the video game as a service.
They trying to change gaming.
This is
what
the
they
long move.
Yeah, this is. And I see what you're saying, K-Bum. Microsoft is playing the long game. They literally trying to change. They trying to do what Google did it, but Google did it when we wasn't ready. Like we all said, they
They didn't have the back. They didn't have the back end either.
They didn't have the backing. Microsoft is going to do what Google did. They're going to take the box, make the box irrelevant, and then once that happens,
K-Bone.
You said what? Was that key?
Now that that one sentence changed because when Level brought up Google, because I'm thinking Google had the best
it's going to change it.
streaming service, but they had no. If they had Call of Duty, they'd still be here.
Okay, well, why you are? We know you're right.
No,
Now, you right. You got to rub it in.
I didn't put two and two together, but that makes so much more sense because, I mean, once we have our Xbox show, they've been hurt. You know what I'm saying? They came in thinking. Well, anyways, we'll wait. I did my little research
Because
but,
Microsoft is the biggest. I mean, come on, man. They every household got something Microsoft in it. Some device. Like right now, Windows is Microsoft. It's all my computers in some capacity or another. So
even if you were Mac only, you probably got Office.
right. So I mean, even though Google is in every household too, I think Microsoft is more already integrated into every household, even in a bigger way than Google is.
Yep.
So they can add that to this. What is this? Windows 12 or whatever we got now, and there your Xbox app right there, and turn it on, and the convenience. And boy, yeah, K-Bone, you're right. They try to move the box. So what's Sony gonna do then? When I don't even have to turn on no box. I ain't got to buy nothing but a computer or buy a TV and an app right there, and the graphics is in the cloud. Oh my God! Don't do it, Microsoft. Don't do it.
So that's why the Europeans focused on the streaming, the cloud portion of it.
Right.
Because it's another piece that you're missing, Level. Not only everything you said is correct. Keith, how big is Azure?
Huge.
Mm-hmm. They already have
huge.
Azure is the Microsoft's cloud platform.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's already. I don't know.
It's already set up basically. So
it may be bigger
basically,
than AWS.
So basically, Google gave the blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
No, say yep. Don't say yep. So, man, so Google literally laid out the path. They just did it. They just wasn't in the seat to really. They didn't have it. Yeah, they didn't have what it took to push it over. Even though they probably could have did what Microsoft is doing. They could buy. I mean, Google got just as much money, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, probably.
Google got a lot of money. They got more money than. Okay, let's put it like this.
Yeah, but
they got more money. They got more money than Sony and Nintendo. Can we say that?
Yeah.
So if they don't have Microsoft money, they sit at the same table Microsoft sits at. Can we say that?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So they could have bought. They could have bought Activision.
And they probably wouldn't have got the same pushback because they didn't just buy Bethesda.
Right.
Had Microsoft not bought Bethesda, this would have been easy.
Yeah, that's true.
Man, Microsoft is like, we finna use this green paper to buy y'all. They whole plan, you know, their whole plan was leaked. They tried to buy everybody out the game, and they literally gonna do it. Oh man. Okay.
Man, dang, I'm finna pump.
We gonna table this. We gonna continue this conversation next week. What's up, Cherry Man? Welcome to the show. We're gonna continue that topic next week when we talk about Microsoft contribution to gaming. Man, that opened up a whole can of worms that I didn't see, and that was crazy. I didn't see that.
And next week, when we open up that book of Microsoft or book of Xbox, y'all gonna see a lot of things that Microsoft was ahead of the curve on. A lot. Okay. They just don't have the games to back them.
Right. Okay, so be back next week for that topic because we open up a can of worms, and I don't want to go too far because we won't have our other conversation. So we got about 40 minutes. We go 40 minutes. So. Keith again. This is most of the time it is either Keith be driving the debate in the comment section.
No, Keith like to drop bombs. And
he he'll ask a question, then he just sit back. This is what he does, K-Bub. He asks a question. It stokes something in me. I say something, then you come back, you say something, you trigger me, and I say something at you, then we back and forth to keep eating popcorn. I'm like, look at this dude right here. So Keith asked an interesting question today that I think was dope for the cast. And I'm going to let him kind of, since he asked the question, kind of set the table and set the stage for this conversation. So Keith, the floor is yours. Kind of ask the question and bring the audience in, and then we'll have this conversation. Go ahead.
Well, I'm going to respond to Nia. Come back next week. All right, the red carpet is out. Messy? No. It's not messy. So the question I had today was I was thinking about nostalgia, and I was thinking about my experience playing Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, and I was like, nostalgia really didn't play a part in this because I was also watching videos about Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and I was just kind of reminiscing over those games, and I was like, man, I miss playing those games. I remember doing this and doing that, yada yada yada. But I was like, let me be honest. There is a bit of nostalgia when it comes to like, oh, this is Zelda, but because those games are so far away from the N64 games, that the reason I'm playing these games is not. It has absolutely nothing to do with the N64 games. It's all based on the fact that Nintendo continues to improve upon their games. I'm not sitting around wondering, thinking about the old games. And that even goes to Mario Kart. I think Mario Kart 8 is probably the best version of Mario Kart that Nintendo's ever made, hence why they haven't came out with another one. And I was watching videos over that one. You know what I'm saying? They was talking about how it, how it started to where it is now. And again, I'm not really thinking about the days of me playing the SNES with my uncles and other friends and stuff like that, trying to play Mario Kart. I'm not really thinking about that. I'm actually just saying this game on its own is really good, and that also bridges into me thinking about that new Disney game that they got coming out. It's a kart racer, and how I have no desire to play that game. And it's not because Mario isn't in it. It's because I've looked at some of the reviews and stuff like that, and the gameplay just isn't solid. It looks messy. It looks chaotic. And if y'all heard me talk about Sonic, I don't like chaos. When it looks chaotic, I don't like playing it. And I think Nintendo does a very good job of making their games current and kind of using the backup of things that we used to play. But they do a lot of great things with their current games. So for me, I don't think that I'm using nostalgia to what am I trying to say? Somebody help me out. I don't know if it's
you're not using nostalgia to propel your purchasing habits.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think they just make solid games. But when I look at the other consoles, the Xbox with the Gears of War, the Halo, to me, that's nostalgia because I don't think that they're actually improving their games. I think people are looking at these games like, oh, the new Halo, because the gameplay is pretty much the same. Gears 5 is pretty much Gears 1, just with a different story, in my opinion. So to me, that's more nostalgic than what Nintendo does. But that's what I was thinking about today. I threw that in there. These dudes went off. So let's see. See what y'all
That's how me and K. Okay, let me explain something to y'all. With me and my boy. We passionate about what we believe and feel and think, right? K-Bum ain't backing down, and if he feels strong about it, he ain't backing down. K-Bum, well, yep, you, I hear you, and come. And a lot of times I be getting upset. I be at work like, this dude's really making me want to call him and go off. I'm like, I'm finna put down the whole minister stuff. Like, look here. So, and sometimes I do call like, dude, look, man, this is what I'm saying. I'm tired of tweeting you. So what we're looking at is, first we got to define nostalgia. Because I believe, and this is my argument, that, and Keith kind of alluded to it, and that's what triggered my thought. Nintendo fans have been wrongfully accused of allowing nostalgia to drive their purchasing habits, and their love for Nintendo is based off of the foundation of a long-term love affair with their favorite characters and the nostalgia of that. It is a truth, but also nostalgia has a thing of same. give me that, and a lot of people, not K-Bum exclusively, but a lot of people they will look at a Mario game and say it's the same game. They've been playing the same game for every year. Nintendo give you the same game, Mario, and it ain't no different than N64 Mario, right? And I begin to look at other games that people love and purchase a heck of a lot that seems to have the same aspects that they would say Nintendo is guilty for milking nostalgia. Like Halo, Gears, Madden, Grand Theft Auto. These are long in the tooth IPs that many people buy because of their fond memories of the first ones. And that's the guilt that they give Nintendo fans for liking Mario, Zelda, and Donkey Kong, and Metroid. Or y'all just want to relive those experiences, but it's like there's so much newness to what they bring. And yeah, the premise, like my boy K-Bum said, is the same, but the game is not. Where Madden, and K-Bum gonna argue this down, so I ain't even worried about it. He gonna shut me down, far as try to shut me down on this argument. Madden to me has less improvements year to year. Call of Duty has less changes and improvements year to year. Games like I'm gonna use one of my favorite titles, Uncharted. Uncharted wasn't drastically different in gameplay, just story. The story is different. The plot, the setting is different. The gameplay is the exact same. So, isn't that nostalgia? Because they're not really offering you anything new, but a different ending to a story. So, that's my curiosity with the topic. I'm going to turn it over to K-Bum and let him give his side, and then we'll dialogue, and then we'll get out y'all ear. The floor is yours, K-Bum.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Don't approach the mic like that with this long pause, man. Come on. Go ahead.
All right, cool.
This dude paused for a long time. What did he say?
Let that sit. Let that soak. So we had some good dialogue back and forth, and I'll come out and say it first. Previously, I may have been probably one of the people just saying, yeah, it's the same old Mario. You guys just buying the game because it's Mario Galaxy 2, or you really just want to play Mario 3D World, the Mario 3, Super Mario 3, and you just keep buying the Mario because you keep wanting to feel like you're playing Super Mario 3, right? I may have been that person before. I am no longer that person. I know that there is a good amount of work put into each Mario title. For the most part, there is uniqueness in those titles. I can't speak on how unique those games are because I don't play them. So I can't just say, yeah, it's the same game, just with new powers. I can't say that, so I won't say that because I don't have that information because I don't play it. Right? So for me, when it comes to nostalgia, and when it comes to Nintendo fans and the nostalgia and how I kind of feel with that, mostly the reason why I feel that, well, that's multiple ways that I feel that way, right? I do feel there's a little nostalgia with it, mainly because if you look at the top selling games of each Nintendo console, there's usually the same guys are there. Your Mario Kart is going to be there. Your 3D Mario is going to be there. Your 2D Mario is going to be there. Your Animal Crossing is going to be there. Your what's the other game? Your Pokemon is going to be there. It is pretty much, if you going all the way back to probably 64, you're going to see the same guys going back to the 64 in the top 10, 15 Except for the Wii had a bunch of Wii titles like Wii Sports, Wii this, Wii that. That was a little unique when I saw that. I was like, oh, okay, hey, it's a little unique. Hey, little difference there. Everything was called Wii. Wii this, Wii that, Wii Sports,
Hold on,
Wii Resort.
Before you, Nia, that's what my argument was. Nostalgia affects all game sales. Anyway, go ahead, K-Pop.
Yeah. So a part of it comes from that, right? A part of that comes from the fact that it's kind of the same guys. If you go down all the way back to the 64, so there's that. But I do want to have a conversation about some of the piece that the Madden that you give out. It's funny because if you look at the Madden community and you actually listen to what they want. If you listen to what the Madden community want, is that they actually want whatever Madden was good, but slightly just made a little bit better.
So, that's nostalgia, K-Pop. I'm gonna read the definition for you.
No. I understand that. That's okay. Not. Let me get to the point. I'm not the point.
All right, guys.
That's what the gamers want. That's not what the gamers get. That's the point I'm trying to get to. They don't get Madden 22 with features with some of the issues fixed. They get a game that feels totally different. And a lot of gamers complain because they say, I really just want to be playing Madden 20 because you guys did it right. Or a lot of the community now complains about the PlayStation 2 Maddens and how their franchise mode was the best. And they're like, can you just make the Madden like you made that Madden? Because that's the best Madden franchise mode. Why can't you get this Madden to be like that Madden? So a lot of the request is for nostalgia. They want to be playing the Madden they used to play, but that's actually not what they get. And that's why I say that Madden is different because it's not because you get multiple crowds. You get the crowd that says, "Oh, Madden is the same thing every single time."
You made a K-Pop. You said something that. Man, I want to reply to what you just said in a moment.
I give you time. Let me see. You get the crowd that says Madden is the same game every single time, and those are people who strictly have no really idea what Madden is. They just pick it up and play it. And then you have the people that play Madden all the time religiously, and they says, why couldn't you just make last year's Madden slightly better? And that's not what you gave me. A lot of my issues with the Madden the next year that I buy is that why did you guys make the gameplay so different? Like the game was fine. Why is it so different? Why did you ruin some of the pieces that you've already had? You added these other pieces that doesn't make the game better. You actually made it worse.
Can I respond?
Yeah.
Just real quick. Now, this doesn't apply to you because you loophole the game, K-Bum. You got GameFly. So you ain't losing actual dollars on these. But you said something that is very much nostalgia based.
Mm-hmm.
You said people buy Madden, the people who play Madden buy Madden, hoping to get the Madden they loved or reminisced about the good Madden, or like, okay, let's say Madden 2011 was an awesome Madden. So every Madden since then, they have bought Madden hoping that it lives up to that Madden, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you're buying it because of nostalgia. Then you get Madden and it does not play like the game that you was hoping it was going to play like. That is the very definition of nostalgia purchasing. Whereas with a Nintendo group, and Nia just said it, we saw some of this with Breath of the Wild. They wanted Breath of the Wild to go back to nostalgia, old school Zelda formula. Now, who said that over here? I want to give them credit. DJ Fanatic, a.k.a. First Name Basis, said it's a formula that people are looking for. You can interchange nostalgia with a formula. And I agree with that. But nostalgia means reminiscent, remembrance.
I like that.
Yeah. So it's something. The nostalgia has a fond memory of a good experience, and you want to relive that experience again. It doesn't have to be the same experience, but you want it to match up to that old feeling, and that's what Nintendo fans have been accused of with Mario. Y'all love 64, y'all love Super Mario World, and y'all keep buying Mario, hoping that y'all relive those old feelings through Mario, which is probably true in a sense, but there's enough nuance that we excited about with the new game that is not necessarily nostalgia driving. Mr. T said I disagree. It's not necessarily a nostalgia driving the purchase desire. But for Madden, you just described literally what nostalgia is.
Yeah, because I described the audience that wants that. Cause that's not every Madden player. That's not why I buy. That's not why I buy Madden. I don't buy Madden.
I said not you.
I don't buy Madden for the previous. I buy Madden because I want a good football game, and I want them to improve and make a game that's similar to simulation. Is what I want. I don't buy Madden because I'm trying to relive the franchise mode that I played in the PS2 era, right? And there are people that fits in that same camp. The point I'm trying to make is I'm actually trying to agree to your point, right? I was creating two counterpoints, right? Only 2 points. One is a counterpoint, right? The counterpoint is...
Let me send this shout out to Mr. T. Welcome to the show, bro. Long time. Welcome to the show. All right, there you go. All right, it's your flow. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, there is an audience, and the thing is, and the point I wanted to make, having this conversation, is that audience doesn't understand that their purchase is driven by nostalgia. They don't know that.
Right, that's my point.
Or they don't. No, and I'm agreeing with it.
I know.
Is it that weird that I'm agreeing with you?
I'm shocked. I am. I'm like, wait a minute. In the comment section, we was not agreeing. So
no, we're in agreement.
We ended up agreeing.
Yeah, we ended up agreeing. That's the point. Yeah, no, and that's the point I want to make. And is that they actually look for the point I'm making is that EA doesn't just give you the same exact game. That's the point that I'm making as well. Because a lot of people say it's just the same game, but it's actually not. And that's what the people are mad about, because you didn't give me the same game. You actually gave me something I didn't want. I didn't want this. I wanted that from last year, but a little bit better. So there's a little bit.
Get out the comment section with that. Get out the comment section with that. He gonna say, "Nope, you can't agree. I'm finna mix this up. Stop it. Stop it, man." Let me add this in here real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I want to read what Nia said. She said, and we don't disagree with that. She said, personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with people playing games for nostalgic feelings. We agree with that. What the only reason we having this conversation is, oftentimes, and K-Bum just said it, the people who accuse other groups of being nostalgic in their purchases are actually the nostalgic person. Okay. Now, let me use myself. Now, K-Bum is an avid Madden, Call of Duty, 2K player.
I rent Call of Duty now. Let's get it right now. I rent it.
But you're an avid player. I'm not saying you purchase it. I'm saying
I'll play it. But
you gonna
rent it though.
Yeah, I said I already said you loophole the game by GameFly. But my point is you're going to play every year's Madden, 2K. Now you're going to say it's not good and turn it and send it back, but you're going to play every Madden, every 2K, every Call of Duty. You're going to play those games, and you're going to be able to see the changes and the whatevers, right? And Keith, you've been quiet. You in the comment section. I need you to jump in this conversation.
I do want to add something though. I've been sitting there thinking, K1 says those games aren't good, but what are you basing it on? What are you basing Madden not being good on?
Fun.
I thought football in and of itself was fun.
It's multiple things. It's multiple things. So for football, and I just stated it. It's simulation. Like this, like if I get a Madden and it doesn't feel real. The computer doesn't make dumb decisions. Your players make dumb decisions. Like this isn't football. What am I playing? How am I playing this for? This is not fun. I'm looking for realistic simulation football. This ain't it. I don't know what
So
you're making.
so you're not
This
looking
isn't-
for a reminiscent experience of a former fun Madden. You just
Ooh.
looking for fun, huh?
No, I don't need. I don't
Can
need
you
to
see
play
what I
like.
did there?
Yeah, that's all I was alluding to.
I don't need to play like an old man.
So-
I just needed to play like real football. Real football is played like this. I've played real football, so I understand the rules. I understand what a force defender is. I understand what an edge player is. I understand how your tackle needs to get outside on a third and long on a pass rush. I understand play calling. Like I understand real football. So I expect my Madden to continue
Reflect.
to improve and simulate real football. And when it doesn't, and now it's not playing the way that real football is, I don't want to play it. It's no fun. It's not fun anymore. Like
Okay.
that to me,
So-
but with Call of Duty is different. Call of Duty is okay. What newness are you adding in the game to make it fun? Because when I went from Call of Duty not Black Ops, Cold War, which was I had a blast playing the game. It was really fun. And then we had Vanguard, and Vanguard was a terrible piece of crap. It was not fun at all. Did not enjoy it. I went back to Cold War and I played that instead of playing the new Call of Duty because I did not enjoy it. It was not fun.
Let me ask this. Okay, so yours is fun, but I'm not arguing against your reason, but I argue most who play are casuals who play Call of Duty and play it every year. I remember which one was the one that they let you run off the walls. Kind of stole a lot from Metroid. They
Advanced
let you-
Warfare. Advanced Warfare.
Everybody
They stole it from
was-
Titanfall.
So this okay, all right. They stole from Titanfall, but if you really dive into, they stole a lot from Metroid because Metroid is doing a lot of it in Metroid Prime. But anyway, we won't go there. So
It was Titanfall.
all right, okay, Titanfall. Titanfall, y'all. Anyway, so my point is when Activision tried to really change up Call of Duty from the tried and true copy, repeat, add a few nuances, but mainly the same game, they gobbled it up. But when they tried to really add changes and really redo the game and add new things to it that you couldn't do before, everybody got mad at it. That loves
That is
Call of Duty.
that is not a true statement.
It's not. I thought
not
everybody
true.
dumped on that title. Did they not?
No. The way you just phrased that is not true.
What
The way you phrased that was
they
terrible.
changed the game. Hold on, let me rephrase it. Let me rephrase it. They changed the game from what it used to be and made it new.
That's not
What
why
did
people
they
hated it. That's not why people. It's
Oh,
not why
go
people
ahead.
hated it.
Go
That's
ahead.
not why they hated
Explain.
it. Because Warzone, which is one thing, people hated it because they tried to make a game like a competitor and they sucked at making a game better than the competitor's version of the game. If I wanted to play Titanfall, I'll go play Titanfall. They didn't make it better than Titanfall. That was the problem. They made a crappy version of a game they were trying to copy. Now, Warzone, which is the Battle Royale game, was actually successful to doing the very thing that you're saying. They created a different game format based off a competitor's game, which was Fortnite, and they actually made it fun.
Okay. So
It wasn't that they tried something different. Everyone said that sucks. That's not Call of Duty, and they stopped playing Call of Duty. No, they said that sucks because you made a bad version of a good game, which was Titanfall. Warzone, like even now, the new Warzone people don't like because they had a good formula with the original Warzone, and they add pieces to this that did not work for the game that they had, which was Call of Duty. The pieces they add did not work. They take something from the competition, they put it into the game. That's not what made this game better. So people actually do not play Warzone as much, but they do play the DMZ mode, which again they took from what somebody else did, which is Tarkov, which is this game is a looter extraction game. They took DMZ, that now they have DMZ, which is a looter extractor, and more people play DMZ than the regular multiplayer mode for Call of Duty. So there are examples of them taking or borrowing from a competitor, then making it in their game and actually being successful. And then there's others where they take and try to make a different game, which is the Advanced Warfare, that we were like, no, this is bad. This is not what I wanted. I wanted something fun. This is not fun. I am not having fun playing this game.
Okay. All right. Keith, you got any thoughts on this before I add any more thoughts?
Yeah, I want to see if there's any other games other than Call of Duty, because I know somebody had mentioned Perfect Dark, how Microsoft screwed that game up, and we pretty much everything that Microsoft been doing. Banjo Kazooie, we don't have nothing on those.
Nuts and bolts.
Conquer Bad Fur Day, Perfect Dark I already mentioned. It's like there are a lot of games that we are using or basing on nostalgia and how we felt when we originally played them that we would like to see come back. And that kind of goes to Nia's point that sometimes nostalgia isn't bad, especially when we've been deprived of these games. So I was just curious if there's any games from nostalgia that y'all would like to see come back, even if they're just completely better or redone or re-envisioned similar to how Zelda is now.
Well, for me, because my argument is, like I made in the comments, and I think Nia kind of echoed it with one of her comments, is nostalgia sells most games. Because if the game didn't make you happy the first time you played it and then create a fond memory, you wouldn't be looking forward to the second one to hope to experience that fun again. Like K-Bum saying, I want it to be fun. So the nostalgia is my first time experiencing this. I had a great time. So I see another entry into that game, and I believe it's going to, I'm hoping that I have a similar great time. I think the problem is when it comes to Nintendo titles, and maybe this is me echoing something I've always wanted to echo, even though I'm not in the same mindset like I was then, because I used to really fight for this stuff. That they would broad stroke us as just playing the same game over and over again, not giving us credit that these games are different. Like if you look at Mario 64, Mario Odyssey, Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy, Mario 3D World, Mario Odyssey, they all different. But I am buying it, hoping that I get that experience, that glee, that nostalgic joy that 64 gave me. See what I'm saying? Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, totally different from each other. Then you jump to Skyward Sword, then Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. All of them games are different. But if I be honest, I'm still trying to get that joy that I got with Ocarina of Time every time I purchase it. So the same with Call of Duty. You love the first Call of Duty or whatever Call of Duty you love. Every time you buy another Call of Duty, you're hoping that you get that joy that you got from the Call of Duty that you enjoy. It doesn't have to be the same way and play the same way, but you're still looking for that joy that Call of Duty gives you. So to answer your question, there's several titles that I would love to come back. One, I want to see Punch-Out. I want a Punch-Out game. We was looking at ARMS.
That's a good one.
I think ARMS graphically is one of the best looking games on the Switch to this day. When Keith, when you put ARMS up, I forgot how good ARMS looked. Like ARMS is a very good looking game to be a Switch title. You could easily say that wasn't on the Switch and I would believe you. But ARMS is nothing but Wii boxing on steroids. And it didn't work. But if you gave Punch-Out those visuals, I would be there for that all day. Or if you made Arms Wrestling, which we had that conversation before, I think it would work better with that over-the-top character design. So for me, like a game like Punch-Out, I've said it several times, Kid Icarus, I want to see another Kid Icarus. I know K-Bomb said he doesn't want to see it. I want to see another Uncharted. I want to see another Uncharted, man. I'm sorry.
Prince of Persia.
I mean, okay. Oh, that's for you, Prince of Persia. So we getting the Prince of Persia, though. We getting the Prince of Persia.
No, we're not getting Prince of Persia. We're getting a side-scrolling game that is using the name of Prince of Persia.
Yeah, they making the game.
I'm still here for it because that's the best I'm gonna get for now. But I want a real story-driven Prince of Persia third-person action game like that.
Hey, Bum.
Because that's pure nostalgia. That's why I want it. I'm not gonna be saying that is nostalgia. That's why I want that game, bro.
When you play that game in January when it comes out, if you enjoy that game, you play it from start to finish.
Yes.
Will you play Metroid Dread?
Absolutely not.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely not.
See, it's bias, man. It's bias caused by
completely, absolutely not.
It's why not? It's the same.
The only reason I'm playing that game is because it's Prince of Persia.
So nostalgia.
Yes. I'm not denying that.
Okay. I'm messing. So,
but I did one point you say when you said about nostalgia. I do believe. So here's my belief. I do believe that nostalgia is a part of everyone's decision to buy a game. There's a piece of nostalgia, but there are some that leans into it more. Just like art design is a part of every single game, sound design, graphics, it's a part of every single game, but others lean into it more. I said a comment. I say that to say this. I'll say there's a game that I wanted to play strictly because of the graphics. There was no other reason why I wanted to play this game. It was not because of the story. It was not because of the sound. It was not because of nostalgia. It was not because of fun factor. It was just because the game looked amazing, and that was the first Crysis.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to play Crysis so bad because of graphics. It had nothing to do with any of those things that mattered. It was
graphics,
strictly graphics.
It's trash. I don't care how good it looks. It's trash.
No, the gameplay was bad. The gameplay for Crysis was terrible.
Yeah,
but I'm saying I wanted to play it because of those factors, and I say that to say this that even though nostalgia is a part of the game buying decision, there are some games that lean into it harder. That it's a bigger factor for why people want to play certain games. That's the part I wanted to. That is not a blanket statement to say, yeah, everything's nostalgia. Yeah, everything is. But there are some that lean into it harder than others. That's the point I wanted to make. That there's levels to it. So
I give you.
Go ahead.
I just want to give one example of that, and new Super Mario Brothers. Oh my God, they lean into it so hard that I said I can't do this.
That's why I mentioned it in the comment section. That's why I mentioned at the when we was talking, Keith. I thought what K-Bum was talking about and what would be legit is new Super Mario. There was nothing.
Yeah.
There was nothing but a better color palette and visual what's the word I'm looking for? Resolution was the only thing that was better about that. It was nothing new. It didn't improve much of anything over the other 2D Mario titles, and they milked the crap out of that. So that was absolute nostalgia. But Mr. T said something I want to read here. He said, I think it's to UK Bum. I'll get your thoughts. That Prince of Persia is a throwback to the original You Want Sands of Time. I think that's a POP.
Prince of Persia.
Prince of Persia. So you always talk about Sands of Time. Is that the first 3D one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Just like when people say GTA, they want another GTA, they're not talking about the top-down version
Right.
of GTA. No one
Right.
talks about the top-down version of GTA, even though that is the original GTA. It was top-down. GTA 3, it was the 3D version that we all recognize and play now. When I say Prince of Persia, I'm always referring to Sands of Time. I'm never referring to the Nintendo version that I did play, but that was after. No, I did play. I played the Nintendo version back when I was in high school, but I didn't even know what it was. Right, I played it back then. I'm never referring to that game.
Okay. Now let me
It's
say
always
this.
Sands of Time.
Cape, to me, Cape, I'm gonna say this, man. I've always believed this because I don't know your taste for gaming, but I've seen the stuff you play a lot, and I believe that Metroid would be a game that you would get into. It's sci-fi, is challenging, Dread and the Primes. I think you should try. But you say,
Backtracking.
Oh, just gonna say that too. I was gonna say he don't like that.
but wait a minute.
No, that is the one thing that's kept me from playing Metroid. That is the one thing that makes me not want to play Metrovania games.
But let me say this.
Any Metrovania game. That's why I don't play
Wait a minute.
Metrovania games.
I agree,
It's
'cause
backtracking.
My issue with a lot of Nintendo games is the overdoing of the backtracking. To make the game longer is because you're going so far back in time to get stuff that you didn't let me get when I was there. That you but God of War has done that too. Now let me say this:
And I've not enjoyed that part.
Metroid Dread doesn't do it quite. I believe Metroid Dread doesn't do it quite like that though. Would you say, Keith? It's not as much backtracking in Dread. It's there, but it ain't it's not in the sense that you feel like, man, this is just, you know what I'm saying? I didn't get that from Dread. I didn't feel like I was overloaded with backtracking.
I'll say this: it is very well paced. It doesn't feel like playing Super Metroid, or
Because that's why I couldn't get into the 2D Metroids, and somewhat the 3D, but was the backtracking. Like, I'm not gonna lie, K-Bum, it's overkill for me. But that's why I'm saying Dread didn't feel like I was backtracking. Now I did get lost. I did get lost and didn't know where to get that power up. But outside of that, I was backtracking all through the stage trying to find out how to get in there. But other than that, I didn't feel like the pacing and the backtracking was too bad in Dread. And I'm pretty sure Prince of Persia gonna have some track back.
It's gonna have some, but I do not play Metrovania games because of that. Soon I heard the word, they say, yeah, it's Metrovania. I say nope, and I keep it moving. The only reason I'm playing this one is nostalgia. It looks cool.
That's not why I'm playing.
The main reason is because of nostalgia, and it looks really cool. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to play, and that's what I do. I'll play a game in a type that I don't like. That's how I fell in love with The Witcher. The Witcher had a bunch of things that I did not care for, but I fell in love with it because the game was amazing. So hopefully this game is fun.
Was amazing. The story.
The game was amazing. The game was amazing, brother.
Trash game. Horrible.
The game was. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm going to try, but I don't like Metrovanias, brother.
Ugly models, character models.
Why are you still hating?
I'm messing with. What did Nia say? Yes, thank you, Nia, for giving me that. Metroid Dread backtracks the least of the 2D ones. I felt that way, but I haven't played all the Metroids, so Keith would be more qualified to answer that question or to co-sign that. But I felt like this don't feel like all the other Metroids that I stopped playing. So anyway,
I can co-sign that. It's not like the other ones, but like I said, the pacing of Dread is a lot better. It feels newer, refreshed versus the old ones. And I will say, I mean, I thoroughly enjoy it. Like, I will see something, I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to come back to see what this is. I don't know. It just makes it's like a prize for me. Like, oh man, look, what's behind that door? I mean, I gotta go fight some, beat it. I'm probably gonna die a couple of times, but when I come back, it's gonna be for me. It's rewarding. You know what I mean?
I'm just mad that you said, "Yeah, I beat it up for the second time on
the hardest
level." There, I ain't beat it yet. I'm at the final. Look, y'all, I'm at the final boss. I fought him. I just haven't beat him. What you say, Mr. T? I love The Witcher, but level ain't wrong. Trash controls, fighting. Thank you. Don't y'all ever talk about Zelda's fighting mechanics. Witcher 3's fighting mechanics is garbage. And I was like, man, this is I just can't get into it. And that's why I didn't get into it. It was that. Trying to kill that, what was that,
Griffin.
That Griffin. I had to follow the scent. And I guess somebody had killed his wife or whatever.
Putting his hands on you.
No, man. The controls are trash, dude. The controls are trash, man. I'm sorry.
It takes a while. It takes a while to get used to.
I'm gonna say this. Breath of the Wild controls can use the work too. I'm not gonna front. How many times I be wanting to throw my sword and try to get through insult to injury. But yeah. So I wish I could get into Witcher 3. I really do. I want to experience what Keith and K-Bomb keep talking about, how they praise the game. But it's the controls, man. It was the controls, the fight, and I was just like, man, this is wonky. It just didn't feel balanced. It felt, I don't know, it just didn't feel right. And it was too many controls. It's just too much they want you to do. Like, bro, just give me a sword and give me a regular lock on and move out my way. But anyway,
just have to find what works for you and just stick with that.
Yeah, I couldn't find it.
Because I know Keith didn't use all those powers or all those potions or all that. You find what works for you and you use that.
This is what I think. This is what I think for real. Had I jumped on Witcher 3 when it was fresh and everybody was on it, I would have probably stuck with it. Because I jumped in it so behind and late, like it was 4 years old. 4 or 5 years old before I even played it. I mean, well, at least 3-4 years old before I ever bought it. So I didn't have no real connection, no real desire. I was just playing it because of the praise that y'all gave it. So part of it is I didn't have no real ambition, desire to play it, and I'm only playing it to see what y'all saying is legit. So I wasn't invested, man. I'll be real. I wasn't invested enough to give the game a proper shake. But the controls were trash to me. Thank you, Mr. T. I agree. Controls were trash. I'm sorry. Trash controls, uncoordinated, all just the models was getting on my nerves too. I ain't gonna front. The models was making me mad.
It's one of the most coordinated styles of fighting that I've ever seen in a video game.
It is.
It is.
It is a beautiful fighting. Yeah,
oh my God! Let me go play this. I'm gonna go turn this on right.
But me, when I played it,
like
I
a doggone ballerina that didn't know how to twirl and twist. I was like, man, this is bullcrap.
That's true, but like
it was smooth. I enjoyed it once you got used to it.
I'm shocked. Go ahead, Keith.
It was a dance. It was more like a dance.
It was definitely a dance, and I played defensive minded first, so. What I did was I would be focused on the person in front of me, but I'm always looking behind me. For those arrows. Those arrows is what used to get me all the time. So I had to start heightening my senses, basically, my Witcher senses. And so you just got to know when to parry and when to. If your mindset is Bayonetta, I'm finna come in attacking, you're not gonna enjoy the game. But
that was my mindset. I was Kratos in The Witcher 3.
No, it's a slow. Like
you're gonna lose.
You have to slow it. Like you have to pick your attacks or pick your openings.
It's too tedious, man.
It's a much slower. That's a different style. It's a different style.
It ain't for me. It ain't.
The level is similar to even though I think they did it better. It's similar to Ghost of Tsushima. You can't just go in there. You can't just go in there.
Ghost of Tsushima is tight with controls, man.
No. I said Ghost of Tsushima was better. Did you not hear that part?
Yeah, I heard you say it's better.
You just Okay. What I'm saying is
okay.
The pacing part of it. You can't just go into a village and just start swinging. You're gonna die real quick. You had to pick your attacks. You had to single people out and just attack them, or you had to. You couldn't just go in guns blazing, swinging, and
But that's
expect
not-
to come out alive.
But that's
in that
not my
game.
issue.
It's a much slower.
It's not.
Fight.
That's not my issue with Witcher. Okay, let me explain myself anyway. So your comparison to Ghost of Tsushima, I'm trying to see it because even though you're right, you can't just go in there willy dilly and just hack slash. You got to know how to block, parry. You got to know which stance to use. So I'm agreeing with you there. But the thing with Witcher 3 was the menu, the potions, the way he swung his sword was kind of just wide, and he would it just didn't feel fluid.
You actually level up, and he swings different.
Okay, well I didn't level up
It
at all.
becomes when you level up your
Level
swings,
head
you can
didn't
actually
level
speed up your. You can speed. No, you can speed up your swings. So that's
Right,
faster.
I was making a joke. I said leveled head didn't level up on Witcher 3 at all.
Oh, wait,
So
wait,
Mr.
let me-
T, you've been playing Witcher. You played Witcher since the first one on the PC. Okay. Keith said, "I look at him. This Witcher love. I had Witcher 1, and oh boy, that's no far from me, dog. Randy Jackson.
Randy Jackson.
Okay.
That's a no for me, dog.
Okay, that's a no for you. Okay. So this is
Oh,
what I'm
hold
gonna
on,
do.
let me ask you this. I
Yeah.
got one good question. You said you fought the Griffin.
Yes.
You fought the Griffin.
Yes.
What sword were you using?
I don't have an idea. I had a sword. I don't even
With a
know.
human sword on a monster.
I was using probably was. I probably was like, this is. I got a sword. It's Zelda. Let's go in here and whoop this Griffin. What was I supposed to use? What was I
gotta use
supposed to use?
different swords
That's
for
why I
different people.
said it was too tedious. You know what? You know another game.
Tedious. Wait, bro, you're talking about a game that when I complained about the game about Zelda and having to get a new sword or weapon every single time because it breaks in 4 or 5
no,
hits.
the fighting was
but a game
tedious.
that just says, "Hey, make sure you pick the right sword out." That's the tedious one.
Okay,
They
with
both-
Zelda,
they both have their tediousness.
they both got tedious stuff to it. You're right. But with Zelda, I can go to a Lionel and I can fight that Lionel with any sword. Yeah, it's gonna break.
You mean with all your swords, not your sword.
Right,
With all
but
your
I
swords.
don't have to specifically pick the right sword to fight. It's whatever sword is comfortable with me, whatever I'm comfortable with. If I want the broadsword, a small sword, or a magic.
Did you have it?
Right. Whereas in Witcher, you literally saying I'm using the wrong sword. Okay, I had that
It's two
sword.
swords.
I should have got. I'm like, why can't I use that sword? I don't know what sword. I didn't even know there was 2 swords. Anyway, this is what I'm gonna do though. When the next Witcher come out, I'ma buy it when it's fresh and new and everybody playing it. That way, I feel a part of the commotion and the excitement and the appeal. I waited too long to play Witcher to really enjoy it like y'all did. That's what I feel for real. I didn't give it a chance because it was an old game, and I had other games that was calling me. And I'm a one game playing person. I don't play a whole bunch of games at the same time.
Hey, I can't get jiggy to this.
Yeah. So if I'm in the game, I'm invested in that game. Like Tears of the Kingdom, I was only playing Tears of the Kingdom, and that's what my mind was, and that's why I beat it. If it don't hold my attention, I'm like K-Bum, it's out of here. So the character movement is sluggish, I agreed, and stiff, absolutely. And you have to get used to it. I didn't. Where it doesn't bother you as much, I love the nerdiness of the mechanics where you have, I don't, pick the right materials for battles. I don't like doing that. I don't even like doing that in Zelda so much. I grew to like it in Zelda, though, with the cooking, even though it did take a little too long. But okay, I'm going to give Witcher 4 a try when it comes out. I will. I promise.
Hey, yo,
When
somebody,
Witcher 4 comes out.
Mr. T, can you ping this? Can somebody clip this? So, Nia, can you clip this? Somebody clip this. So when Witcher 4 come out and he say I ain't playing
I'm
that,
gonna try
we're
it.
gonna have to.
I'm going to try Witcher 4. That is a guarantee. That is a promise. I can't do Witcher 3. It's too old, and I'm struggling. So once I play that game,
You
I'm
gonna be
gonna
even
play it.
older when Witcher 4 come out. What you?
No, it's old, not me. It's an old title, and I need the new one when they pull the new one out. But here's the thing: I like that Lord of the Ring. What was that Lord of the Ring title? Where he was dead.
Mordor.
I like that.
Shadows of Mordor.
Is Keith? Have you played that one?
Couldn't get into it, bro.
You couldn't get into it.
I couldn't get into it. I tried it. I was like, I don't care.
Man, I love that game, man. I love that game. I love that game. I beat it. Beat that all the way through. I loved every bit of that game. Okay, anyway. Any other thing y'all want to talk about before we get out of here on tonight? Anything else? So, nostalgia affects basically what we conclude with is just about every game for the most part is affected by a nostalgia connection. That's what we come to conclude.
I can agree with that.
So we agree that nostalgia affects every game and purchase for the most part because we're trying to always purchase that experience that we had with the first entry. So,
yeah, not only the first entry. Don't skip the first entry.
The
first Ninja Turtle.
Yeah.
The first Ninja Turtle was terrible.
I love the first Ninja Turtle. I mean, it wasn't better than the arcade. No, it wasn't arcade.
I don't want the first Ninja Turtle again. You can
I ain't looking to go. You're right. I ain't looking to go back and play it.
I want to change the wording. I think it's not necessarily the first entry. I think it's the quality.
Yeah,
Mario 64 had a certain
that's the first
quality.
one you fell in love with. That's what it is.
Well, I felt like we fell in love with Mario with Super Mario for real, with either Super Mario 3 or Super Mario World, and then 64. Yeah, 64 did burn in my brain in a way that the other two didn't. But yeah, you're right, Keith. I give you that. But I love Mario World, Super Mario World on the Super NES. I love that title. I'm sorry. And Super Mario 3, I liked it. Never beat it. Never beat Super Mario 3. No, I never could get there. I could never get past, I think the sixth world? I could never get through it. I could never pass it. And
there is a certain difficulty to that game. I will agree.
Yeah, and it was like some stage that you had to find certain doors to even pass it. And I never could. So that's probably why I'm not big on 3. But I love World, and then 64 just, that was,
my favorite was 3. That's my favorite Mario, with Super Mario Bros. 3.
There you go. Thank you, Mr. T. The underwater bomb level in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Pain, but I loved every part of it. I loved every part of it.
That is...
Yeah, Keith, I didn't beat ever. I didn't beat 3, man. I'm exposed. I didn't beat. Man, when I ain't heard exposed. See, look, you came in here. I ain't heard exposed in about 5 years. But anyway, my mind went back to Fat Gamer. He said exposed. But no, I never beaten Mario 3. No shame though. No shame. I never beat it. I never beat the original Ninja Turtle. I couldn't get
electric eels or whatever was that electric something. It was something. I was like, man, I can't.
Yeah, man. I'm done, man. Like who test this game? Like who are the video testers for this? Shoot. I know y'all ain't past this level. Who you thought this 10-year-old kid was gonna beat this level?
Right.
What are y'all doing here, man?
I actually watched the YouTube to see Shredder. I had never seen Shredder in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so I watched it on YouTube about. It wasn't even that long ago. Maybe a few months back. Just because I'd never seen the end. So I agree. Turtles. The first Turtle was trash, but I was there for all of it. Now arcade. Especially the arcade version at the arcade. I mean, I like the one on the Super NES. On the NES, but man, the one at the arcade was that deal. And then Turtles in Time on the Super NES. Man, ain't wasn't too much touching that. Matter of fact, that's why I bought the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, because it reminded me of that particular one. But anyway, exposed, Mr. T, slap yourself down, Mr. T. I ain't heard that in a long time. But anything else before we get out of here? I don't think I got anything else on deck.
Nah, we're good.
All right, so next week we're going to stay true to what we said. We're not going to deviate. The topic will be the contributions to gaming from Microsoft. Microsoft's contributions to gaming. We're going to go over everything that they brought to the table so we could give them their just.
Everything?
Well, Keith, as much as Keith said, he looked up, everything. He said, I'm bringing it back. Okay, this T coming with this quick one. I'm bringing it back, nostalgia. Long as you don't bring Black Bun over here, I'm good. And matter of fact, I'm going to watch your video when you actually blew Black Bun up. Is that still posted? That was one of my favorite Mr. T videos when he would clown Black Bun. But anyway, you could if you don't say clown. You can bring back Expose, but we can't bring back clown. We can't bring that back. But next week will be the Microsoft's contributions to gaming. So be prepared for that. And that's the show for tonight. I'm going to let these brothers sign out. I'm going to start with K-Bum20. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I had a good time today. I had fun with you guys in the comment section. It's good seeing Mr. T pull up. It's been a while since I've seen him up in here, so I appreciate you, bro, giving us some love. We'll give you some love right back. And it was a good topic. I know kind of changed my stance from our comment section, our group chat, but that's usually what happens when you get up and enlightened from the other side. So I enjoy the back and forth in the podcast. I mean, in the conversation, the podcast. And I have one special note to keep. And stop mixing the pot, man. Leave us alone. Let me work. Spending half my work day killing that level because of something you mixed up. I got work to do, Keith.
He just throws a grenade. He throws a grenade in the middle of the chat and then just hides his hand. Like, dude, you just threw this in here.
I got busy.
I'm like, Keith ain't said nothing like 17 posts. Then he come back, well, I don't agree with that, K-Bum. Then he go back out for another 17 posts. Like, this dude just kept this argument going. So, yeah, K-Bum, Nia, Keith is the one to be starting stuff. But go ahead, Keith, sign out, bro.
Yes. It was a good show. I didn't even know we were going to do this one tonight, but turned out pretty good. K-Bum said some stuff earlier that's going to have me pondering all night about Microsoft. But definitely good show. Glad to see everybody in the chat interacting. Appreciate the love. And yeah, man, come back next week and join in the conversation.
Yes, sir. Thanks, brother Keith. I want to thank everybody that tuned in on tonight. Nia, always being faithful to come through. Alan Steed. Who else was in here? First name basis, a.k.a. DJ Fanatic, was up in this mug. Cherry Man. Did I give you a shout out, Cherry Man?
Yeah, you did.
I think I did, but if I didn't, I apologize. Shout outs to you for being up in this piece. Of course, Mr. T. I'm serious. I'm going to find that video where you blew up Black Bun. I'm going to find that. Man, why you don't be making them videos like that no more? I know it takes a lot of time, but I wouldn't mind seeing some of that old stuff. But anyway, thank you for tuning in, dropping in the comments section. This was the Live 11 Gamers podcast. Y'all know what we do every Thursday, 8:20, because we special every night. We'll be back next week, back in your eardrums once again. And Microsoft will be on deck for discussion. And that is the show for tonight. And as always,
but we got Smash Bros though.
Go play that Smash Bros, because that'll probably be the last one we get. Because I don't think old dude coming back. But anyway, we out this piece.
But we got Smash. But we got Smash Bros. But we got Smash. But we got Smash. But we got Smash Bros though.